In 2020, 4 friends decided to listen to every one of the greatest 500 albums as decided by Rolling Stone magazine. This resulted in a text chain that celebrated the music excoriated the order and led us to making this podcast. We are far from experts. We promise to do almost no research. All opinions are our own unless you disagree. Please sit back and enjoy. Beck did it better. We are all the way up to album 217. And from 1994, it's Oasis. With the album that's named after what my wife says to me when I ask to have sex with her. Definitely maybe.
Oh, I thought it was the Ryan Reynolds movie.
Definitely maybe. Okay, I've got to edit that together. Got to slip up.
But you're just too lazy.
I kind of like
did
this.
nail it.
I'm like having like is it Pavlov's dog, like a reaction where I think we're done when I hear this song. This really,
Like, is this the rating system?
Yeah.
like thank God.
For you, Jack. Beck did it better.
We like doing the podcast. I've got 3 guys here who just realized this band is named after what you say to your sibling when you see him at the holidays. Oasis. I've got Matt in Minneapolis. Matt, how are you doing tonight?
Good, Rob. I really, really do not want to know how your garden grows.
Wow.
Son of a bitch, man.
I've got Russell desperately looking at genius.com. I've got Russell in Minneapolis. Russell, how are you doing tonight?
Rob, you ever think that our listeners don't really want to know how your garden grows?
What is going on with my garden?
It's like a bird's nest, right?
It's more of a starter. Oh, that part. Yeah. That's the thing is I did shave my mustache last week and I was like, oh, maybe I should give those pubes a little trim. And then I cut my lip and I was like, nope, not going to do it. It's fine. Nobody cares what it's like down there. It collects my musk, as Aaron says. Aaron in California. Now, Aaron was telling me earlier that he thought more of his barbers growing up were going to be beefcakes. I've got Aaron in California. How are you doing, Aaron? I mean, it's true, though. It's true, though. Very few of my barbers were beefcakes. In fact, I would say a lot of my barbers were actually opposite of beefcakes.
And none of them wear spandex pants with the sides cut out of them either.
Yeah. I mean, one barber had his face on his butt of his pants, but I think that was a coincidence.
I just took Wallace to the barber for the first time, and this guy's definitely a beefcake. Nick,
really?
He's got a Jesus tattoo on his hand.
Wow.
Whole thing, man. He's definitely a beefcake.
Did he pick your wife out of the crowd? Give her a little smooch.
Oh. Wait, did Bruce
at the end of this haircut, I'm going to pick. Oh, no, that was Ravishing Rick Rude. I'm getting my beefcakes confused. I'm sorry.
Rob, I don't know what's going on with your garden because I think you and I are going to live forever. Let's talk about Oasis.
Oh, wow. Thank you for picking a different part of that. All right, let's get into the voicemail.
The freaks on the phone.
And I've done that one a bunch. What's this one?
Dum 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 dum.
That original.
They come dum 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 dum.
I think Matt played this originally on like the Stevie Wonder like songs in the Key of Life episode.
Kiss my ass.
That was
also like 8 minutes long. Before we knew to keep them short.
So good. All right, this was a text.
Nothing else going on back then.
This is Little Moses. I can confirm from my own personal experiences, my dad is usually not that cool.
Okay. I've got to talk about this because I got this voicemail and I showed it to Jenny and I said, listen.
That's funny. That is funny.
First of all, I don't think we should accept underage calls to this Beck line. That feels wrong to me. Okay. We should not be doing that. Russell, we should be beeping that double F word if you know what I'm talking about. For sure. Okay. But I told this to my wife. I said, listen. This guy's son just texted and said, my dad is not cool. And Jenny goes, what is he talking about? Ross was so cool in college. So little Moses, I'm going to tell you right now, your dad we all thought he was cool as hell. He was a goalie on the soccer team. Okay.
Mom was much cooler than him, though.
Again, he was pulling what Aaron calls high class trim. Okay. All over campus. He was a cool
Aaron
dude.
called it that in college too. It's crazy that he's kept using that term for that long.
Using that term. Yeah.
What's the Ross I think knows you guys. He probably knows me by picture or something like that.
I don't think he would know me at all.
I knew her way better. What's the odds that she knows or remembers any of the 4 of us? Like Ross remembers, but I guarantee that.
I don't even know who she is.
Okay.
Oh, guys, there's 100% chance she knows who I am. Okay. Ross and I, probably the 2 coolest dudes on campus. Okay. We were often at the cool dude parties together. All right.
Would he ride around in your Miata?
I mean, do you think Ross ever was like, God, I don't know if if I'm going to find a party to go to on a Friday night. No, he never had that issue like I did. Where Friday at about 5 p.m., I was desperate. If I didn't have plans lined up, I was like, oh, fuck me. Everybody is doing a cool thing, and I don't know about it. I got to get on this shit.
You know. Here's the difference.
In
my world, like,
oh my God,
we were doing what the
fine.
cool thing was. Like, to me, we were, whatever we were doing was the cool thing.
That's right.
There was never a part of me in college that was like, man, we really got to go find a part. Like, we create our own fun. Like, we were never looking for, like, except for the Pizzone Revolution night, we were never looking for the fun party. We were the party.
I was going to say, like, if there was something going down at the hockey house, I was like, I feel like I should be there. And then every time I went there, I was like, I don't like being here at all.
Oh, I loved the hockey house. I would go sit by the keg and I would just pump the keg for everybody. And I'd just be the keg pourer down there. Everybody's coming. Say hi to everybody when you're the keg pourer.
Wow.
It's kind of fun.
That's brilliant.
Did you guys have any slump buster type activities that are like, what the hell are we going to do tonight? This is the most boring night. Did you have anything that you would do to kind of...
Club.
Century?
Yeah, that was one. Yeah.
Russell, can you explain the Century Club to our
Club's
our not as classy listeners?
I would say there were two versions. Century Club is the 100 shots of beer in 100 minutes. You typically, the one or two times we tried it, we started with about 12 guys. About every 15 minutes, someone vomited into a garbage can, and we ended up with 3 or 4 that made it to the end. The other slump buster of like a drinking thing or a fun, it was a case day. Occasionally we do the case day. Everyone goes and grabs a case of beer, and the goal is to get through the case by the end of the day. I'd say those were the two things that you could start to raise a little hell with.
I think though during the day we would like go play basketball at Skoglund. That was like a thing to do. But for nighttime events, it was always drinking. Matt, what's up for you? I
never was a Star Wars guy or anything like that. So I was like, let's watch. And this was back before the new ones came on. So I was like, we're going to watch Star Wars tonight. We're going to watch all 3. We're going to watch it through.
3.
And that,
wow.
And that would every single time, it's probably 2 or 3 times. Within a half hour, something came up where we would have to shut off the movie and go do whatever everybody else was doing. So that was the slump.
Probably when like an attractive lady would show up, you'd be like, "Oh, we're just going to sit around watching Star Wars," and then you'd have to pretend like you didn't want to watch Star Wars.
Right.
Exactly. So here's the deal, though. Definitely freshman and sophomore year, my room was people were coming to my room. Like I was the guy. Like people would be in my room and I wasn't there. And Aaron and I lived together sophomore year, and we had people over. So at least for the first 2 years,
you were kind of a big deal. People knew you.
I was in a hub where people would come to. And so that made it easy.
Just like this podcast. It made stuff happen. Now, brought the people together.
This is making me think, and I am going to throw up. Was Russ cooler than me in college? Guys,
definitely tall.
Is that even a question?
Russ was cooler than me, wasn't he?
He was cooler than all of us. Well, it's close between Russ and Matt.
To be fair, in most worlds, like football playing probably helps people. I don't think it makes a damn bit of difference at St. Olaf.
Yeah, but I was going to say I played more video games, but I realized that wasn't cool. That's not a cool thing to say. It's inherently not cool. And
you guys both had a radio show. I was going to say, Rob, you had a radio show,
Rob's
but you both had a radio
show. Was much more popular, though.
And a big following. Ours was Sunday at 8 a.m.
But the very idea that you never stressed about what you're going to do on a Friday night, that means you were definitely cooler than me. God, Russell, you know what? I'm honored to know
Aaron,
you. The coolest guy on campus.
I feel like we didn't stress about shit like that. We just would do what we want to do and make it happen, right?
You know what my slump buster was if a Friday night was slowing down? Pop those clothes off. We're getting naked. Whatever you're doing, you can do anything. And now that you're naked, it's a Friday night.
I think the other one that before K-State and Century Club, Russell was an amateur mixologist. I mean, most of the drinks involved, Gatorade and something else, or root beer and schnapps. But Russell would put something fabulous together and see what we could get into.
What I really want to do right now,
root beer right now,
is I really want to play
another melee
taps for all the guys in college who were cool as hell. Russell, Ross, I guess everybody but me on this podcast.
Steve,
now that I'm looking around, Steve. Oh my God,
Steve.
Whatever Steve was up to, forget about it. And now we are old.
Joe from Woodbury
with our kids. Imagine being Joe from Woodbury's kids, thinking he's not cool anymore.
Joe from Woodbury definitely was cool in college.
Can you imagine? But his kids don't think he's cool, guys.
No, they have to know he's cool.
They know.
They just showed that picture, and his kid didn't want to have the picture with him.
Yeah. They don't want to admit it, but they know.
This is a funeral for our coolness in the eyes of our kids. We once were cool, but now, God damn, it's a long song. You know what I mean? Every time it gets me. But now it's not cool. Now, I mean, take a screenshot of this. 4 guys, 1:30 a.m. New York time, saluting the song Tabs. And you're going to tell me we're not cool? Please, we have a podcast.
Number 217 out of 500.
Wow. You know what?
Really, Rob, what define cool at St. Olaf, though? I think you worry too much about others' impressions of you.
Did you get a hand job from a girl who wore a leather jacket?
I was talking to my younger one about nerd call. Do you guys were you nerd call people?
What's that?
I always thought it was pretty cool when we got nerd call.
What's a nerd call?
Nerd call?
I just don't know. You guys never had nerd call? Where you're at the library and they say, the time is now 11:45.
And they leave.
The library will be closing in 15 minutes. That's nerd call.
I never heard that once. I never studied in the library. Every time I did, it drove me crazy because you know what you can't do in the library? Talk to people.
Be naked.
And be naked. You can't do either one. And Matt, every time Sam, my buddy Sam, every time he saw my parents, the amount of time he spent in the library would go up. First time he's like, I've been in the library 4 hours. And then next time he sees him, he's like, they're 6 hours a day. And then my mom, you know the first question she ever asked my girlfriend, now wife, ex-girlfriend, now wife.
Wait, you broke up before you got, were you?
Well, yeah, she's not my girlfriend anymore, Aaron. She's my wife. Hey, Aaron, not only is she my best friend, she's my wife. I almost didn't laugh. I'm trying to say that without laughing. It's really hard for me. You know the first question my mom asked Jenny, first met her?
What's that?
Does Rob play video games? And of course, Jenny was like, oh my God, all the time. I was like, no.
I thought she was going to ask what sort of salsa you like on your Chipotle burrito.
He already knows that from the previous girlfriend.
To see if you got it right.
Now I'm questioning my coolness because I did play a lot of video games in college.
Yeah.
But never alone, almost never alone. The thing about it, like, if people wanted to be around you, you were cool. And that's Russell. People always wanted to be around Russell. He never had a moment to himself.
Something in my kitchen is beeping. Talk about how cool I was. I'll be right back.
I'm trying to think, where would you rank Rob on the cool list for St. Olaf?
Rob
Top
was
50%?
He was unbelievably cool. He was the funniest guy on campus.
He's wearing a full sweatshirt and just underwear.
Yeah,
I know. He was hilarious.
Yeah. He was
even back
five.
then. He was I still describe him as the funniest guy I've ever met in my life. And so, yeah, no, he was very cool. Life of the party.
Rob, Steve, Russell, Joe.
I was nicknamed Ross by Barry from Burnsville for a while.
Oh, that's right.
Because they wanted to talk with Ross, who lived on the other side of the dorm, like in Iterbo senior year. And someone got word back to me that I was supposed to go talk to them. They were looking for me, and I walked in the other pod, and they all looked at me like, what the fuck are you doing here? And I was like, I was told you guys wanted to talk to me. They said, no, we were talking about Ross, not Russ. So then they called me Ross for like the next 20 years.
Okay.
I think our Norwegian exchange student called you Ross, too.
Listen,
Ross, I got a fucking futon.
You're going to hear a voicemail I'm going to send now to my 2 kids and my wife. A voice text, I'm sorry.
All right.
Hey, whatever brain genius left the Diet Coke in the freezer today, it exploded and it's a huge mess and it's 1:30 in the morning and I'm not cleaning it up. So please wake up and clean up, whoever did that.
Oh, God.
Brain genius.
So now we get to see if anyone's door opens behind him.
Well, I heard a bang and I was like, what was that? And then I've just been hearing this beeping. The fucking freezer's been open for like 2 hours.
Why's the freezer open?
Because a Diet Coke exploded in there. Somebody put a 2-liter Diet Coke in there. Okay. It exploded.
A 2-liter.
Burst the door. Well, it was a 1 liter. That's embarrassing to say. 1 liter. Who's buying that? You know what I mean? Wild.
What is this, Europe?
Hey, not only that, I think it was actually a 1.5 liter. I think it's like that weird one. The really weird.
Petrol and a liter of Diet Coke.
No, it's the metric system. Forget about it. Listen, going. Matt, how's it going with you?
Good. I saw another music documentary today. I watched it. Yeah, HBO Max, now called Max, has a documentary about Yacht Rock.
Oh, the Bill Simmons
Basically,
one.
Yeah, the Bill Simmons one. It is awesome. You don't like, the whole Yacht Rock thing. Like, I love Yacht Rock. I didn't know how it came about and all this stuff. Essentially, it was like 3 comedians in the early 2000s who were just, they were comedians, so they weren't making fun of it, but they started like kind of like a web series before YouTube was around and stuff. basically just like pretended to be Michael McDonald, all these people, how they wrote these songs and stuff. But it turned into this huge thing that they started calling it Yacht Rock. And so it's an unbelievable documentary. Kenny Loggins is way cooler than I ever thought he was. Like to hear about him writing songs. And did you know that he wrote the theme song to Top Gun, Rob?
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah. Him and Messina. And what's crazy is not only did he write that,
this song is so
he wrote the theme song to Caddyshack. Two like opposite movies. He's like, yep, I got them both.
Yeah. So that's it. It's late. I just wanted to.
So the guys at the time didn't know they were making Yacht Rock, right? They were just making their music.
No, and so then these comedians essentially they've got some website that what is Yacht Rock like yacht.
Did they actually have Steely Dan on there? Because I saw Steely Dan's quote.
Steely Dan Asia is their like Bible, if you will. Like everybody says that is the most perfect album of all time. You know, they took forever doing it. They would go through many musicians to get the right sound and stuff. Like in one of the in Peg, is it Peg? Is that the song?
Yep.
They went through 7 guitarists to get to the solo, to get the right solo, and they basically and their producer kept saying like, not once did anybody ask, how much are we spending here? Are we spending too much? Yeah. It was all just like literally like, we're making the best album ever. And so then the producers of the movie, I'm giving away the ending, but it doesn't really matter. But they called the guy from Steely Dan. Who's the head guy from Steely Dan?
Donald Fagen.
Fagen. You know, they call him to see if they could be part of the documentary. And he basically says, well, what are you doing a documentary about? Yacht Rock. You know, wait, what are you calling it? And he said, Yacht Rock. He basically says, well, you can go fuck yourself, and hangs up. So clearly he doesn't like the Yacht Rock being called Yacht Rock or whatever. But it was essentially, you know, they don't call Hall & Oates Yacht Rock because Hall & Oates were from New Jersey. And so literally the Yacht Rock scene was all of these guys who were doing all these sessions, you know, that essentially came together. You know, we've talked about Toto being essentially it was a bunch of session musicians, and then they get together and stuff. And so it's all these guys out in LA who everybody played on everybody's album, stuff like that. But another documentary. We're a music podcast, according to Aaron. I don't know if we really are or not, but
that's why people tune in.
That's why people tune in. So you have to see, and Rob, I know you don't take anybody's recommendations, even though you give out a ton of them for watching documentaries, but you have to find a way to watch the Yacht Rock documentary.
Will do. Sounds perfect to me. That sounds great. I love a good music, like not just one band too, but like a good music, like a spanning type thing. Christopher Cross. Going through his, you know, he basically hit a home run in his very first album.
Yep, and he won all the big awards with that one, right?
Won all the big awards like 1982. Yeah, and then, you know, that hadn't happened, and Billie Eilish just broke that in 2020. She was the next one to do it.
Man, that new Billie Eilish album, that's been on repeat for me. That's fun stuff. I like that.
Yeah, that is good stuff. But he essentially, you know, he made that great album, which was like Yacht Rock Essentials, and then he was playing in like little rooms after that. Like he couldn't find success after it. So hearing him kind of go full circle with it, because now he's back to playing a lot of stuff. But Sailing basically won everything. So it's a good.
There's a fun video of Christopher Cross performing while wearing an Earl Campbell jersey, and I have a friend named Chris Campbell, and I enjoy sending the Christopher Cross and the Earl Campbell jersey to my friend Chris Campbell.
Did you have to explain to him he's wearing a Earl Campbell jersey and his name is?
I probably did. Even if I didn't have to.
Oh my gosh! Sounds like some lists. It sounds like some lists that some people have been making lately where it's a tenuous grasp at best.
Then the only other thing I got is that I went and saw Wicked Part 1 today, which is
how was it?
Awesome. But all I heard from there's a bunch of theater nerds there, clearly. Like, nobody was singing, so it was nice. But the movie is awesome. I've seen the play 3 times, twice in London and once in Minneapolis. And so I've seen it 3 times, so I know what's going on. I know all the songs, all that stuff. It is awesome. It is long, I'll tell you that. And that's all I got from the theater nerds that were behind me, in front of me. Like, one lady behind me was basically, you know, I knew all the songs. I wish it was a little shorter because I was just waiting for them to get to the next song.
It's like 2 hours and 40 minutes, right, Matt?
That's long.
Just for part 1. And, you know, so there's a part 2 that'll be out next year. And so you're going up to the intermission break. If you've ever been to the play, you're getting up to the intermission break with this movie. Then the next one will be the finishing of it. So I don't know. It seems like it will be too long. It'll probably be 4.5, 5 hours total. And you're going to want to watch the whole thing, because it is one long story. It's not like part 2 or anything like. It's not like Indiana Jones, and they got a story that ends and then they just move on with life. So I don't know. It does seem like it's going to be very long, and that'll be the biggest complaint. But visually, it's awesome. Music, awesome. Ariana Grande. I couldn't name one song that she sings. I know she's a very famous person, but can you name one song she sings?
You know what? I don't know her music, but I've seen her do like the Jimmy Fallon impersonations where she does like Celine Dion and all these other Christina Aguilera and all these other famous singers, and she does the impressions. It is wildly good, like amazingly good.
Yeah, she's unbelievable.
Well, I used to listen to Ariana Grande when she was just Ariana Pequeño. She wasn't as big.
Which is short for... Yeah, so that's it. It was a lot of music today in our little Thanksgiving break that we still got going on. So, Rob, rolling going, how's it going with you?
Listen, I fucked up my back today. I don't know if you saw me when I stood up, that I was moving slow.
We mostly saw your briefs.
We didn't see that. We saw other things.
Well, I'm wearing a sweatshirt with briefs. It's kind of a strange combo I got going on. Okay. So cold up top, so warm down below. And I have switched now full-time to briefs, guys, just to let you know. I don't know what's happened. I think I've just gone totally old man mode. It's all colored briefs.
Is it I had to buy chafing?
I had to buy some for powerlifting meet. And so that's kind of what I've got as underwear now. And I kind of like it. I kind of like it all snugged up like that. I'm kind of like,
do your thighs rub together? Are you okay?
No, I feel kind of, I don't know. I feel kind of sexy.
I've often wondered this, like, because there's a reason that briefs have been around for so long, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, people end up going back to them or something like that. I could never do it. I don't know if I could do it.
Is there any other way to picture your dad's balls beside in a pair of briefs? You know what I mean? Like, it's such a dad's balls outfit. Everybody thinks about briefs. They're thinking about their dad's balls. And I think I got to pass that on to my kids. You know what I mean? I'm walking around.
I tried to wear some jeans to work in the yard today. And I was like, if I was wearing briefs, this would be terrible. Because then you got the denim rubbing up on there. I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Spoiler alert, I need new jeans.
Keeping it right and tight. What's going on. So listen, I fucked up my back today, deadlifting.
Doing what?
I was deadlifting. And but it's not my fault. Because I had a previous injury in the morning. Okay. Where I had a
hamstring.
I had a pulled hamstring from this morning.
Robbie.
Okay. And it was from making love to my best friend. Okay, I got it.
Sam's in town.
I gotta not laugh when I say that.
Because last week you said that you shouldn't be jacking off on the weekend.
No, so now I am sitting in bed quietly while my wife sleeps. And at the moment she wakes up, I'm pouncing on her and saying, hey, we should have sex. And then remembering I haven't brushed my teeth. It's a whole thing. But I did pull a hamstring pretty bad this morning, which put me out of sorts for deadlift. And so then I fucked up my back. So I had to text my coach, who is also my best friend. And I said to her, listen, my hamstring pull from us making love earlier today has really fucked up my deadlift. And what the worst part is? Hurting your back as a powerlifter.
The worst part is hearing you say making love, to be honest.
Some of us can't unhear that shit. This is coming from one of the most uncool people at our college. How am I supposed to react to this?
Making love.
I'm just thinking of kids listening to this show and what I'm about to say.
All right.
There are kids.
To me, there's a difference between smooth strokes and deep dicking. You know what I mean? For a Saturday morning, this was more of a making love type thing.
It was the Yacht Rock of sex.
Yeah. But no, I have to admit, what I was making, she was not buying. Here's the deal. I just come to the... No, I don't want to get into this.
Did she call you the candy man?
Yeah, because my breath smelled like a factory's exhaust pipe. She was not pleased with my breath. I should have, instead of waiting for her to wake up like a leopard outside of a warthog den, I should have gotten up and brushed my teeth. That's mistake number one. So now I've hurt my back as a power lifter. And you know what the worst part is when people say, how did you hurt your back? I'm going to say, well, I was deadlifting like 500 some pounds. They're going to go, oh yeah, I knew it. Because people always say to me, why don't you hurt your back? How does your back not hurt? Does your back hurt? Your knees hurt? And I'm always like, no, I'm safe and I'm warming up and Guys, I fucked too much today, and now I've pulled my back powerlifting.
Yeah, man, don't let the haters get to you, right? Tell them you're fucking. Just be like, hey, shouldn't make love so hard before I deadlift.
Does it sound better that's how you got injured?
Like my coach told me not to make love, but then I made love to my coach.
We went out to dinner tonight with somebody, and Jenny had to use my phone to text him because, of course, Jenny forgot her phone at home. What? And so I see the text he sent him on my phone. And it says, oh, yeah, Rob fucked too hard and he pulled a muscle, which caused him to hurt his back. And I was like, well, it's not funny over text. It's funny over the podcast. Funny-ish. Rolling going here.
BYU won, Rosie. Rosie, BYU won.
So, oh, wow. That's too real.
This is great. Aaron, rolling going. How's it going with you?
Well, I also, we were talking about Yacht Rock. I have a rock song that I need you to play, Rob. This is, this one's kind of nice. I don't mind this one. This is a song called Prove by One OK Rock. And I'm going to just do the mat and let this ride while I talk a little bit. My son, I'm never sure exactly what's going on with his musical tastes because he really likes to just pick stuff to piss me off sometimes.
Kids love that shit.
Yes, but this is one, it's from one of his Beyblade shows that he likes to watch, I think. So this was featured in Beyblade, and so he's realized that I do enjoy this one. So it's the one he asks for most frequently. He'll say, can you play Prove by One OK Rock? And then he asked me, do you think you're going to play this on your podcast? He was like, Dad, are you going to cover this one on your podcast? And he said, will you please play this on Beck Did It Better? And so, as you guys know, if your kid asks for something, you got to do it. So I asked Rob if he'd cue up Prove by One OK Rock, which is not the worst song that I've had to play in the car over the last 6 months or so.
Is One OK Rock a real band or is it like an AI band?
I think it's probably an AI band. I'm not really sure. I'm not there. There's not a lot of information about them out there on the internet. I think it's from, as I said, the Beyblade soundtrack.
Oh, it's a Japanese rock band formed in 2005.
Oh, they're a real band. Okay. Well, I feel even better then.
Have you gotten tricked by a couple AI bands online, Matt?
No, but there's something with the morning show and K-Fan around here where they can't play like actual songs anymore.
So they're doing AI copies.
And so people will send in songs, for them to play like local music type stuff. So they're not getting anything,
That makes sense.
But a lot of them are AI. They say that they're AI produced, or if they're like parodies of songs about the hosts or whatever, they do AI stuff. So I'm not getting tricked.
Have you heard the AI song about stapling your balls?
Have not.
Okay, sorry, Aaron's son. Give me a second.
Is this the Lyndon B. Johnson one? Those pants.
His pants. What does he say in that phone call to Hager Slacks?
Gotta give him a little 2 inches in the groin or something, right?
What was that AI song?
That's a good question, Matt, though, because you can't tell. Like that's definitely very cookie cutter. Like this is a rock and roll song, so you could definitely tell. You could definitely think that might be.
You might think that AI. Oh, is it only good for teachers who are writing comments and don't want to do so much work? Okay, is it really worth like all the water we're burning through? But then you hear a song that's made with AI like this. It's called "I Glued My."
What is this?
This is "I Glued My Balls to My Butthole Again."
And this is entirely AI generated?
It's got 2.7 million views. So
it's very famous.
That's pretty funny.
This is what we should be using AI for.
Yes.
To make songs like this. Okay, now just because it's very similar, I mean, it's kind of similar to some songs that some people are censoring. Some people, if they heard what happened to some songs, the founding fathers would be spinning in their graves.
If AI could do this, we could certainly get a main host that could do what Rob does on this, right?
Yeah, I mean, to do that.
You just need the right prompt.
That's something. I also went to the movies. We went to Moana 2, and I
saw that yesterday.
I didn't like the music. They were missing.
And you know why you didn't like it?
Tell me, Matt.
You tell me. I guarantee you know why.
I think it's because they didn't have Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Right.
Wow.
You definitely tell the difference.
Good
it's
Lord,
weird.
It doesn't even compare.
Right. It's weird how you can tell the difference.
It's kind of like when you're listening to a march and it's not a John Philip Sousa march. You just know it.
Right. I mean, that brings the conversation full circle. Like, real artists are still real, and they make a difference. I fell asleep during Moana 2.
Wow.
I did too.
I did
like an hour.
during the show.
Really?
You were drinking in the theater?
Yes.
They have a bar?
Movie theaters have bars now.
They got a bar at the theater.
Okay.
Yeah.
I fell asleep for a good 45 minutes, for like the first 45 minutes.
Yeah, I took it straight up, man. It's just
I have no idea why they were trying to pull the island up or
I know, it was
whatever,
making no
things.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very trippy, but also the music, not good.
And then I woke up to like The Rock. We had some solo song, and it's just not good.
Well, it's nowhere near as good as You're Welcome.
The Rock is just on an all-time bad roll right now, isn't he? Like, he cannot, everything he touches just turns to absolute dog shit now. It's
Isn't
crazy.
that part of his charm, though, is like he makes shitty movies. Like, that's what he does, right?
Yeah, but like, but lately it's gotten really bad.
I'm a wrestling guy, but has he ever had like a big movie other than like Fast and Furious?
Well,
I don't know. I've never seen him. Jumanji, I haven't seen.
I don't think I've ever seen a movie with The Rock in it.
well, you got to see San Andreas.
Other than Fast and Furious.
Earthquake. I saw that.
I think he's in like there's some Christmas one that just came out,
I suppose.
Red.
Right?
Yeah, Red
really?
one. That's the one my kid wanted to see, and I was like, okay, let's wait a week because I knew it wasn't going to be in the theater anymore. Brilliant parenting.
He's going to have to turn around before the 2028 election, or McConaughey is going to beat him. How's it rolling going with Russell?
Rolling going. Things are good. I went to. Told you guys last week I went to one Thanksgiving thing and then I had to go to another in the same day. I did two in one day, day.
No.
And it went good. And we actually combined Thanksgiving and Christmas. So we got Christmas gifts for my niece and nephews.
Oh, nice.
This is what happens when your sister and sister-in-law start talking is they're like, well, it would just be easier. Let's just combine everything in one and give Uncle Russ like a week notice that this is what we're doing. So
you know what this means. We're bringing it back. It's that time of year. We're bringing back the sound effect. Wow, Russell. This is great.
So eventually we had a good time. Got my nieces and nephews some gifts. Have you guys seen the Paul Skeens, the baseball card thing? You know what I'm talking about?
No.
He's
what are
like
you
the
talking
rookie of the
about?
year pitcher. And
I know who he is, right?
They've got like a 1-of-1 card in Topps Chrome Update or something where there's one card where it's got his autograph and his, piece of his jersey in the card or whatever. But Pittsburgh Pirates put out a tweet saying, hey, we would love to, whoever pulls this card, we would love to bring it back to Pittsburgh so all our fans can enjoy it. And essentially they offered behind home plate tickets, season tickets for the next 30 years at Pirates games, like a night where you get to rent out like PNC Field and do like a softball game with your friends, meet and greets, jerseys. Like they did all this stuff to say, hey, whoever pulls this card, we will essentially give you all this stuff for it. And I saw this and I sent it to my brother. I thought my nephews would like it, being they are into cards and they thought it was cool. So I went and bought a case of these cards and then brought them. And I said, if we get them, if we pull the Paul Skeens, we're splitting it. Me and the 4 nieces and nephews. I included the nieces on that. We're split the winnings. We'll split the prize or whatever. So that went over really well.
Did you have a contract drawn up for that, Russell? Did you get some?
Yes.
Okay, sign here real quick. Russell, can I ask you real quick? What does a case of baseball cards? First of all, what does that entail? And I got to ask what the price is, ballpark.
So these cards are very bad. I don't know I don't think your kids are into sports cards too much as far as I know.
No, Pokemon cards is nonstop. I can talk about that all day with getting them rated and everything now. So,
but so
wow.
I kind of don't want to say what the box costs because if my sister, she listens to this and if she knows what I spent on that, I'll get yelled at. So I'm just going to not say what it costs.
I know it.
Rob will bleep it out.
What would you say it was compared to like a backpack?
I think there was, if I remember correctly, this box had 24 packs of cards with 4 cards in a pack. That's the way they come now.
Okay.
Oh, so 100 cards.
4 cards in a pack?
Yep.
That's crazy. That's crazy, right?
The box was $300.
I can't even do the math. So I think that's a great deal.
Like
I don't
$3 $3 a card.
Yeah. So, but I just thought it would be cool to try to see if we could pull the one that's like the big thing in cards right now, the one that everyone wants. But we failed miserably.
Open all the cards together?
Yeah, they opened them all. They had a good time. They had fun. We did not get the card, but it was still fun. But I was going to tell you guys, I made a big mistake. I normally don't do this type of stuff on the way home. I get home. My mom's about 35 minutes from my house. I get home, go inside, pull out my phone. I've got somebody else's phone. I stole my mom's phone by accident.
Oh, wow.
Have you guys ever accidentally taken somebody else's phone and left with it?
Call.
No.
I 100% once took my kid's phone, and I was walking around with 2 phones in my pocket.
Yes.
What happened, Rob?
Well, I had to figure out how to communicate home, so I called the computer over Facebook and just waited until somebody picked up. And I was like, hey, I have your phone, because I knew she was frantically searching for her phone, and she has no way to communicate with me. So I was like, hey, text me on the computer or whatever. But I had to turn around and bring her phone. I felt so bad.
Yeah. So I get home, I pull out the phone. I'm like, oh shit. I go, this immediately. I'm like, this is not my phone. It's an iPhone. I don't know why I have this. I obviously picked it up by mistake.
You felt a little cooler though, didn't you?
Yeah.
Holding that iPhone. You felt just a little bit, you had a little more pep in your step because you had an iPhone.
Oh, everything works really well on this phone. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
So then I'm thinking, damn, I probably left mine there. I didn't leave mine there. So it's not even an accident of I took the wrong one. I just took 2. I took like you did, Rob. I took my own and my mom's phone.
You're the king of the phones, Russell.
So immediately I was like, damn. Immediately, mom's phone starts ringing after I notice it. It's my sister.
Yeah.
My mom had called my sister on her Apple Watch and said, I can't find my phone.
What a mom
You know
move.
what happened to my phone? So I immediately tell my sister, yeah, I picked it up by accident. I'm gonna bring it back to her. I'll call her if she's calling you on the Apple Watch. She'll pick up. If I call or text her, she'll see it, right?
Russell, is your mom rocking an Apple Watch with a cellular plan? Is she getting the full on super?
I think she can get calls and texts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or is she on Wi-Fi, or does she have the cellular? You have the cellular, man?
Yeah.
I do. You guys told me I should get it. I asked you for your advice.
What? You guys have cellular? My God, you guys are ballers. I would never in a million years.
When you go out running or you go on a bike ride, you don't need to bring your phone. You just got your
Rob, you
your
said
watch.
to me, I don't have it. And sometimes I wish I did. And I was like,
oh my God. I'm past Rob. Finally helping somebody. It's not me.
So I call my mom's phone and we don't pick it up. We don't pick the phone up thinking it'll ring to her watch. She'll pick it up. Doesn't pick it up. Then I'm like, my mom still has a home phone. I don't know if you're
No.
Your mom have a home phone, Rob, or not?
My parents got rid of theirs years ago. All they were getting were annoying calls.
So my mom still has one, but she doesn't pick it up. So she has it. It rings. She won't pick it up if it rings because she knows it's like like a sales caller,
So good.
Right?
Such a good bit.
So I called the home phone a few times thinking, well, she called my sister. Now someone's calling the home phone. She doesn't pick it up.
Uh-oh.
So I
Russell, how far
times.
of a drive is this?
Oh, probably 35 minutes.
Oh, that's just long enough to be annoying.
Right.
Yes, just long enough to be annoying. But you got to bring it back immediately. So eventually I bring it back. I bring it in. She's there. I picked it up by accident. And I say, don't you have that Apple Watch that you called my sister on? And she goes, yes. I called her on. I go, I called it. Did it ring? And I was going to tell you I picked up the phone. And she goes, yeah, I don't really know. I must not have gotten it in time. And I was like, wait, does that mean you didn't get it in time, or does that mean you don't know how to hit answer on the Apple Watch? So we had some confusion with my mom about why she was not picking up calls on the watch or the phone.
Russell, did you use the F word at all in this conversation?
The F word we talked about last week.
What are you talking about, Aaron?
Because I remember Russell swearing in front of his mom was like a revelation for me. Like in freshman year of college, we go to Russell's mom's house to watch some wrestling, and she's like, I don't know, made us some food. It was super nice. But he would just use the swear words in conversation with his mom. And I felt like I was not there yet with my parents, and it just blew my mind.
That's badass.
We're adults now. This is it.
Matt, are your kids swearing in front of you yet?
No.
Mine slip up every once in a while, and they'll swear. They'll be talking casually and swear, and they catch themselves.
They do the thing. I'll be like, Eddie, get off your iPad or whatever. It'll be like, you get off. It was just like kid stuff. And I'll just, I'll do the old look at it. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I'm just, it's like he says it to his friends all the time or something.
Yeah.
So that's about as close as we get to the back talk.
Now, Russell, at any point, Russell, you don't own an Apple Watch, right?
No.
You probably have some weird ass watch. But here's the thing. Some weird Android watch.
Hey, Rob, I ain't got the time for that shit.
Oh, okay.
We know you don't.
He's an analog man. He's buying backpacks.
You seem like a guy that might have like a nice
No.
watch.
He's probably got a stainless steel.
No, I told you guys, I don't have luxury items. I bought the luxury backpack. That's all I've got.
First of all, as a person who has an Apple Watch, Russell, answering a phone call on the Apple Watch is one of the easiest things you could possibly do. Your ass got ignored. There's a huge green button that it takes up half the screen and you just tap it. Is the most obvious thing how to pick up a call. She ignored your
ass. It taps your wrist so you know it's calling.
Yeah.
You know it's calling.
Russell,
So. I got screened then.
Now, Russell, I would recommend if your mom calls you again and asks for something, you should do what I do now to my girls when they call and ask for money during the workday. So I'm sitting at my desk at work and they'll call and they'll be like, I need $10. And I say, beg. And they go, what? And I go, beg me for money. And they go, please, can I have some money? Please, please, please. I go, okay, I'll send you $10. Well, I did that the other day and a coworker was in front of me.
No.
And I just go beg and they turn and go, what? No. And I was like, what?
Not you.
And then I just say, no, I'm telling my kids beg. She's like, what the hell are you doing?
That's not bad. That's not.
But it was, I said, well, it's good that you said no right away. Because I think if somebody said to me beg, I'd be like, please. I just start begging. I wouldn't care. I'd be like, whatever makes you happy.
Russell, did you try to text message your mom? Did she get text messages?
I did. I also text. We text message. We called. We tried every possible solution of calling and not picking up, calling the home phone, texting, every one of them.
What is this focus mode my mom has on her phone called Ignore Russell? It's so weird.
Probably be warranted.
He's always calling me about Sons of Anarchy. All right, let's get into the album.
Nobody's favorite part of the show.
Hey, Aaron, you want to hear about the album?
Oh,
wait, is this a music podcast?
Beg me.
Oh.
You kind of like that, don't you, Aaron? I'm telling you, tell your kids to beg, and you'll see how depraved they are, how much they want money.
I don't know. Oh, my son doesn't understand money at all yet. It's not coming in for him at all.
Neither do my kids. It's like we're going to give you an allowance, but only if you ask me for more money. I'll always give it to you as well. So don't worry about that.
I'll get my allowance next time.
Yeah. Dad, what if I told you I could double your allowance? You just need to give me $100 right now and I can invest it. I'm like, that sounds great. Listen, we are talking about Maybe Definitely by Oasis. This is Oasis's debut album. Basically, they took 3 times to record it and they recorded the whole thing 3 times. And each time they said, we hate this. And eventually, like Noel Gallagher is producing it, like they're stepping in. I want to show you guys the wave files for this. Look at this. Now, first of all, here's like Elliott Smith. Do you see how the wave files get big and small? Remember before I talked about the loudness wars of like the 90s? Look at Definitely Maybe. Look at those sound waves.
I was reading about this today too, Rob. It's super interesting, isn't it?
Loud all the time.
Every single one of them is cranked up. There is no quiet part to this album. This is one of the loudest albums of all time. And if you think about it, it makes sense, right? Because one thing about this album is these guys are fucking rock stars. This is their debut album. They are fucking rock stars from the go. From the very first song on this album, right. They are a rock group and they are ready to rock out. Okay. And now I hate this album because I was listening to it today when I hurt my back. Okay. So it put me in a very, very bad mood. But immediately this comes out, huge hit, goes to #1 in the UK, becomes the fastest selling debut album in British history. Okay. Which I think now has been passed by, we covered it once.
Adele,
yeah. And then it basically comes out during grunge. It's way more positive. This, along with Blur, Suede, Pulp, is starting Britpop. And what I thought was interesting is they also credit this with post Britpop songs, Britpop indie like Coldplay and Radiohead and The Verve, and it all starts with Oasis just starting this huge rock movement in Britain. So let's get into.
The engineer, Rob, is the guy who claimed to like start all. It's called brick walling. Is the way they mix this, right? With the really high volume. Did you read it at all about that?
I read it before. I did about an episode before. I can't remember. Was it Oasis where I talked about it? But I mean, it's crazy to me how loud this album is. Tell me about brick walling, Russell.
No, it's just you. I don't need to go into too much detail. It's just focusing
Russell,
on like. I don't know enough, but I think it really became popular like in the early 90s with CDs, right?
Yeah. And eventually they had to like limit Like when I put out this podcast, I put it to 15 LUFS. I've got the whole thing set to different LUFS. That's like the loudness scale because that's what they'll release podcasts at. They had to standardize it because everybody just made their music louder because people are like, oh, this is better music.
They just put it as loud as they can without it being distorted, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what Rob was doing when he pulled his hamstring. He was making LUFs.
He was making LUFs.
I didn't do a list on this, but here were some of the other bands I saw that also kind of do this brick walling. Red Hot Chili Peppers on Californication. So if you got these albums in your headphones and you just put it on, it's going to blare and you're going to have to turn it way down, right?
Yeah.
That was one. The one that I read that was the loudest was Metallica Death Magnetic, Cyanide, like those songs. Like supposedly on this, there's a study of this that had that as the loudest album ever. There's also some
recorded. I don't know that at all.
I think early 2000s.
That was kind of what I consider their golden age.
Before or after St. Anger, Rob?
It's way
After.
before.
After.
I was so confident though. 2008.
Couple other ones. Green Day, also very loud albums. Audio Slave, Matt. I don't know if you're an Audio Slave guy or not.
Big time, yeah. Yep.
And I think Rick Rubin worked with Audio Slave, and Rick Rubin gets berated by a lot of people who don't like this loud war because Rick Rubin was a big part of that for a lot of these bands.
I bet.
Taylor Swift, 1989. People complain about the 1989 album that you get through like 4 or 5 songs and everything is too loud.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And then another one, Rob, you'll have to pull this up. This goes out to Barry from Burnsville. This is the Gopher football song that they play with after touchdowns where they're going to do the kickoff. It's Purple Lamborghini by Skrillex.
Oh,
Purple Lamborghini.
It is loud as shit.
This is what they play.
Rick Ross and
Skrillex.
Yes.
I mean, this is not even. This is loud. There's just no quiet parts.
But like if you turn this up, like if you listen to headphones and you crank it up, it's just blaring. You can hear like all the rattling and everything.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like there's parts where he's not talking, but if you really listen, there is no quiet parts. It's all loud. This is
super interesting.
I got to admit.
Iggy and the Stooges, they were talking about the remaster of that. Was it Power? What was the Iggy and the Stooges one we did? Raw Power or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
that one was kind of did that brick walling too. So I was reading about that today. I thought it was really interesting.
Our most downloaded episode, by the way. By the way, did you guys see that? Samsung, I sent you that Samsung podcast is shuttering their doors. We're fucked. We're fucked. They still were getting like 50% of our downloads
I might have to give one of those Apple phones.
All that income is out the door.
Damn it.
Dang it.
All right. Rock and roll star.
For those people that don't know, at some point we found out about Samsung podcasts, right? And our listeners went through the roof for like a week. And it turned out we were listed as like the 12th best music podcast.
Rob had to quit. Rob quit his job. He was taking
job. He thought we were paying.
Kiss his ass.
Well, what I thought happened is that somebody at my school found out about the podcast. And of course, in my mind, that would cause everyone to download it. They have to listen to it.
Right. They're going to be on it right away.
What really happened was that everybody at his school found out about the podcast, but nobody downloaded it.
Yeah. Turns out nobody's thinking about their teachers on the weekend. That's so weird. He says, Noel Gallagher says, I pretty much summed up everything I wanted to say in Rock and Roll Star, Live Forever, and Cigarettes and Alcohol. Everything after that has just been repeats. But listen to this. This is a fucking rock band.
Yeah, they're rocking.
But Russell, this song, this is the second single, Shaker Maker. Does this suffer, Russell, from the no hits issue?
Oh no, I think is it Live Forever? It's the third song.
Live Forever is a great
That's
song.
the one.
That's
the one I would know.
All right, let's get right into Live Forever then. Really? Yeah.
And you know, I think a lot of these songs are bigger in Britain than they were in the U.S. I know some of them are still huge here, but am I right on that? Like, I was reading, like, there's all these lists that have this album as like one of the the number one album ever. It's got like this song is the best British song ever, like above Wonderwall and Champagne Supernova. Like, I think this album's bigger in Britain than it is here.
Oh, for sure. And that, What's the Story? Morning Glory took off in the States. And then everybody kind of learned about this one, thinking that this was the second album. At least that's what happened to me when I was 15, 16 or whatever. Yeah. It realized, oh, wait, this came out before that. So, yeah.
This is a commercial hit.
Yeah.
Up in the Sky. I just was never big. I talked about it last time, but I was just never a big Oasis guy. I never listened to much Oasis.
Hello.
Yeah, I never had an Oasis CD, I don't think.
No. I had both of these and played the hell out of them. Yeah, this and What's the Story? Morning Glory.
So what do you like so much about Oasis, man?
I figured out, if you listen, I think it's that noise guitar in the background. I don't know how to describe it, but if you listen to like Smashing Pumpkins, pull up Cherub Rock by Smashing Pumpkins. I mean, I guess I'm guaranteed that's like a, go halfway through or whatever.
Pull it up any time for Matt. Yeah.
I guarantee that's got some brick walling or whatever to it as well. Just that loud. It's just the constant noise. I don't know what I like that constant noise for some reason. Or that deep guitar that's not really is it actually playing something or is it just a bunch of distortion? I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that easy to play as like the rhythm guitar? I don't know. There's a lot of Pearl Jam stuff like that. So this Oasis album, it kind of fits in with that whole thing. Just the noise and pretty good singer, pretty good lyrics. I don't know. That's what I like about it.
Love it. Columbia. This was named after a hotel they stayed in where they did a lot of acid.
All right.
I think it's too late for me to get into acid. Have we talked about this?
Too late.
We were talking about mushrooms. I think you can microdose those, right? Acid, I'm not sure I can handle. Right, there's a mushroom church in Oakland. I'm supposed to go check that out.
That sounds.
I'm not bringing them across state lines, though.
Aaron, what are you talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about.
State lines is probably fine. I just want to bring them in Mexico.
Yeah. We all know Aaron's a big states' rights guy, so we get it.
Yeah.
Super
states.
Hey, you guys, there's a song, Mookie, Supersonic. Of course he didn't play for the Trailblazers, you idiots.
No, it's Deadlift Shrimp.
Funniest Supersonic you could have picked, Aaron.
Thank you.
Nice one.
Better than Frank Burkowski?
No. Benjamin.
Daniel. Percy Hawkins. Slick Watts.
This song
Go ahead,
I was
going to say, there's a little bit of everything melding together, right, Rob? I mean, like for the people that don't really all of these start to just sound like the same thing to you.
Oh, of course.
That's the one thing I'll say. And the songs that weren't like the radio hits or the ones that you really identify with, you're like, yeah, this is just another.
I think too.
Pretty close to everything.
I think I got caught up in the Gallagher gossip where they were such pricks, and then for some reason I maybe not like them. When in actuality, I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, you're a rock and roll star. You should be fighting your brother who's also in the band. That rules. That's what rock and roll is. You know what I mean? Not just about making AI songs about gluing your nuts to your butthole.
That is a funny song.
Really, it seems like to me, and I don't know how deep you got into it. Liam's the lead singer is kind of the one who's much more of a prick, if you will, or I don't even know if it's a prick. He's much more eccentric, and he's kind of the one that just flies by, just does his own thing. And he's not going to bend to anybody, and where Noel kind of tried to get him back together a little bit, and it just doesn't work, I guess. So.
See,
but again,
is their new tour still? Is it still happening?
Still going? Yeah, okay. It's still going. But everybody, that's the big joke about. This is the first. Everybody's got to buy that insurance on this ticket, right?
Buy tickets too far in the future, right?
Right.
See, and then I say like, maybe I don't hate him, and then they come out and say, this song was a tribute to the Stooges and punk rock. And I'm kind of like, I wish you wouldn't say stuff like that. That's gross. Cigarettes and alcohol. I did love the long...
This sounds like the Stooges.
I did love the long rhymes on this one. I appreciated those.
Long rhymes, you said?
Yeah, he's got some rhymes on this album where you're like, it's a fun stretch. I like it.
Yeah. It's up your alley.
Boy, cigarettes and alcohol. What does that make me think of? Vegas.
Aaron, ESPN has Iowa State with a 55% chance of winning the Big 12 championship over Arizona State. Just saying.
That would be something.
We got to bet
Exciting.
it. Digsy's Diner. Now, this is when I texted you guys, I think after I had hurt my back. I refuse to like an album that has a song called Digsy's Diner on it. It just seems
whole
wrong
album?
to
You're
me.
throwing a whole album out just for this song title?
I mean, is there a more British song name than Digsy's Diner? Like,
So you hate the British? Is that what you're saying?
Have a taste of me, Knox.
do I hate the British? Is there somebody who's going to get mad if I just say yes at that? Who's
Guys,
going to get mad?
there's a mom at Walsh School who looks so much like Elizabeth Holmes, and I get so mad every time I see her, and it's not her fault. I'm sure she didn't find enough lady, but
Give Aaron
never
Elizabeth Holmes, the author, so many thoughts. Please, our fans, we need to spam her. Give Aaron a free book now.
I bet she'd send Mr. Moses an autograph book.
Bet she would too.
Oh my God, you know she would.
Oh, yeah, she would. Yeah.
Mr. Moses, do us a favor. Wait, what am I bleeping again? I'm not bleeping it. Wait. Ross.
I think we're safe now.
Ross.
We're deep down several rabbit holes at this point.
Text this woman who I'm sure found you attractive in college. Get Aaron a free book. You have the power of your hotness.
I'll pay for the book. I just wanted it signed.
He wants it free and he wants it now. First class shipping. Slide away. This was Paul McCartney's favorite Oasis song. So they say. But he also wrote Obladi. So what are you going to do?
I like that song.
So
I like that song too.
I thought for a long time about this last song. And I was like, I cannot think of a joke I'm going to make because again, Married with Children is what the song is called. It turns out, guess what the song is about? The show Married with Children.
Yes.
It literally is
He said
about it. They enjoyed the show and they wrote a song about it.
He said it reminded him of him and his girlfriend, like the back and forth and all that stuff. Great show. Great show.
Great.
It blew my mind because I'm watching this. I'm like 14 years old, 12, 13, 14 years old. When he would not have sex with his wife, who I found incredibly attractive. You'll never guess why. I found her so hot. I found Peg Bundy unbelievably attractive, and he'd be like, I'm not going to have sex with her. I could not understand what was going on. It blew my mind. Did you guys feel the same way?
I don't know if I watched it that close.
Wait, what? He didn't have sex with her? I didn't know.
Oh my God. That was always his thing they would say, oh, do you want to have sex? And he's like, I'm not going to have sex with you. He was like not having sex. And she always wanted
selling
sex.
women's shoes.
Well, that makes no sense to me.
Remember the Al Bundy thing? Like his thing was he would sit down with like his hand in the front of his dress pants. Like, is that just like giving yourself a little bit of room in the pants, or why is he doing that? I mean, he's not fondling himself.
I mean, I guess my wife could call it and contradict, but I don't think I've ever said no unless I'm sick. I mean, that'd be the only. And even then, I'd be like, well, if you don't mind getting what I got.
I that's the thing. I just couldn't imagine saying no.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know what I do say sometimes though?
Beg.
Have I broken your guys' brain? Is that what's happened? You guys have had your brains broken by me. What do I say? And two of you say beg. Oh my God.
You did it. Success.
That's crazy. Oh my gosh. We've only been recording for an hour. You know what I should do?
Tight. It's a tight 5.
Should I move the parades list to this album? It makes just as much sense. We could do that. I think that's going to work just fine. Listen, okay? We are talking about Oasis, okay? We are talking about Oasis again. No Wonderwall. No songs about Portland Trailblazers on this one. I don't even know if that was this episode. But what do we think on the rating system? We don't care about the album. We care about the list. This was at 217. Is that where it belongs? Is this a rolling well-toned? It's perfect at 217. Is this a rolling groan? Oh my God. That's why I switched those sound things. I was wondering, why did I have the roll? Because it was next to this groan, Aaron. I had my sounds mixed up.
Get your groans.
My groans should be here and here.
Can't mix up your groans, dude.
That would mean it should be lower on the list. It should not be a 217. It should be higher number, which of course will be lower on the list that we're going to do later. Just remember the double L's of a good podcast. Lower numbers later, which is not what we're doing. We're doing higher numbers.
Different from the double F's of last week.
Hey, all you parents out there, don't talk about the double S with your kids. Okay?
The double S?
Double S, Russ, you sicko.
What? Well, different thing.
Listen, or is this a rolling boned? It should have been way higher on the list. Okay? This is the first Oasis album. This should be the best, huh? First is best. That's how the Olympics work. Why not albums? Think about it. All right? What do you think, Aaron? Rolling well toned, rolling bone, or rolling? The guys, these doubles. I'm telling you, we run out of gas so fast during these doubles.
It's hard to think about Oasis without thinking of the Beatles, and I sort of had a hard time. I don't know why. I started thinking about okay, we've had enough Beatles albums for sure, but on the subject of soundtracks, I kind of want to hear Magical Mystery Tour before we hear another Oasis album. I don't know, and maybe that's odd, so I'm gonna give it a rolling groan because I just can't disentangle those two bands in my mind. But I respect anybody who likes this one, and I think it's good music. So that's my take.
I mean, you do get where he was coming from when you just hear that over and over. It would, if you were John Lennon, you would walk out as well. Russell, what do you think? Rolling well toned, rolling boned, or rolling grown? I mean, Oasis is not writing obla di obla da, right? I mean, isn't that what Oasis got in trouble for? They said they were bigger than the Beatles.
I don't think so.
They got in trouble for other stuff. Pretty mild though, right? Just like trashing hotel rooms, I guess. I don't know.
I think they said something like that.
By the power of mathematics, that would make them bigger than Jesus. So, because that's what the Beatles said.
Well, Slug said he wanted to be bigger than the Beatles and bigger than wrestling, bigger than Jesus, bigger than breast implants.
Who said that?
Al
Slug
Bundy?
from Atmosphere. And yeah, it was his own.
I love it. Russell, what do you think? Rolling well toned, rolling bone, or rolling grown?
You know what? The last out we talked about, what was the third song, Matt? The one hit on this one?
Live Forever.
So that was the one commercial hit. Maybe it's just the other one had all those. It had like 3 or 4, I thought, bigger hits. And so to me, maybe it's unfair. I feel like I've done this in a few albums recently when the one doesn't quite live up to the other one we've already done. I feel like I penalize it a little more. So for me, I think I only needed one Oasis on the list. The first one was awesome. I'll go back to that one. I probably won't choose to go back and pick this one as a follow-up. So I enjoyed the music. I think it's good. I think there's a time and place for it. I'm going to say it's a little rolling grown. I'm going to say it's a little too high.
Yeah. Aaron, Matt, what is that? Not related. What do you think? Rolling well toned, rolling boned, or rolling grown?
I think this is rolling grown. If you look at what is coming up next, and I'm just going to read some artists. We got TLC, Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. Got some Young in there. Rage Against the Machine, Rage Against the Machine.
Oh, wow.
Dixie Chicks Fly, Wilco, Yankee Hotel Foxtrot, Derek and the Dominoes, Little Richard, De La Soul, Patsy Cline, Rihanna, some Coltrane, Metallica, the Black Album, things like that. Like we're getting to some great albums again. You know, last week and then this week, I just don't understand why these are on the list right here. And I get that it was an influential album, you know, as being like the first kind of maybe cool Brit-pop group, if you will, rock Brit-pop, however you want to say it. But this does nothing compared to What's the Story, Morning Glory.
Stuck in a bit.
So, yeah.
I'm telling you, either or, definitely maybe. This is a joke for the list writers. They think our lives are a joke.
They were not thinking of us.
They were not thinking of us.
Yeah. So I think it's rolling grown. I mean, there's just too many other albums that should be above this one.
Unfortunately, you guys are incorrect.
Shit.
All right. This gets a rolling sensation.
Sensation?
Sensation. This band sounds like professional rockers on their debut. Guys, this is their first album. Think about that. That is crazy. This sounds like a band that's been touring and putting on stadiums for a long time. Like, it's a crazy sound for a big album. It's confidence. And it's why we're never going to be a big podcast. We're humiliated by our own creative endeavors. That's fine, I'm sure. Next up, it's a band that most of us now associate with when it was getting hot in the basement and you heard strange noises coming from down there. It's because Left Eye was trying to burn down your house. You're Andre Rison. Look out. Get out of there. It's TLC with Crazy Sexy Cool. Here you go, Russell.
Associated with Silk Pajamas.
Oh. Cinderella, please.
Yeah.
Wait, no, that's Salt and Pepper.
I was trying to think of, wait, is Cinderella in that video?
No. But you want to talk about another band that I jerked into a lot. Oh, Salt and Pepper, forget about it.
Did it better.
That might shock you. Holy cow. You guys look pretty tired. You probably want me to play this sound clip, don't you? Well,
we're going to have to beg for it.
Oh, yeah. Beg. I want to, just one of you beg me. Come on. Matt, come on. Beg me. I can't.
Rob, I beg. Please don't make us do this podcast. Please don't make us do it again next week.
Aaron's kid was like, Dad, are you going to play that song on the podcast? And you know what my kid said to me today? This is so weird. Dad, isn't it time for another waterbed corner? And she's right. Let's take time real quick. We're going to go to Craigslist. We're going to look up what's going on with waterbeds.
No, we've been on for an hour. We need to.
Rob saw this was done in an hour and 8. He's like, I'm not. This is like when you. This is for the business people out there. When you have a budget, you always spend up to what you've been budgeted, because if you don't spend it, they're going to take that money away from you. If Rob doesn't go up to like an hour and a half, we're going to only let him do 108 going forward.
Use it or lose it. Now, do you guys think waterbed is one or two words? And have we ever had this conversation before? I think it's one. All right, let's see. We got a free soft-sided waterbed. It's in Eden Prairie. I'm doing a Minnesota search, guys. Do you want to go pick up a soft-sided waterbed? Soft-sided? What is this picture even?
Or a hard-sided waterbed?
Well, they would have to be hard-sided. Otherwise, it's just going to roll off the bed frame, Aaron. It's a big balloon. Let's see. We got a waterbed headboard. Here we go. Queen-size waterbed frame. There's a lot of waterbeds in Two Harbors. What's going on up north where they have so many waterbeds? All right, guys, come on. We got to find a waterbed bit. Otherwise, we can't go home. Okay? We're going bit. This is a bit rewind. We're doing a good waterbed bit.
You know who could never have a waterbed?
Who's that?
Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Those big shears would pop a hole in that shit.
Yep.
Then he tried to kiss my mom. I think that's unrelated to the wrestling.